Well, few things on a menu can rival Italian cuisine like a classic pizza, and that is exactly what's happening in the DelmarvaLife kitchen this afternoon for our Mamma Mia Monday. Chef Joe Bellia from Joe's Roma is back with us again on the fresh start of the week.
Mamma Mia.
How was your 4th?
It was good. How about yours?
It was pretty good, yeah.
You let the kids go do the firework thing, and I stayed home with the dog to cover his ears.
Me too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got to do the little things we do, right?
That's right,
Yeah,
that's
so-
right.
So we're going to do grandma pizza today. Have you heard of grandma pizza
No.
before?
I
have not heard of
So
grandma
it's-
pizza.
I think it's more of a New York thing. It's a grandma pizza is what the grandmas used to make for their kids and their grandchildren. Whatever pan they had, whatever dough they had on Sunday after everybody ate, they made a little pizza for the kids.
Oh, really?
Also, this is also known as tomato pie, but the ingredients are a little bit different, but the same kind of pie.
Okay.
So what we're doing here is we got the pan is the most important thing. You have to have this is like an iron pan.
Okay.
That's like almost like you would treat a skillet, iron skillet.
Okay, so it's different from like your
It's
typical.
different. It's the same kind of thing. You don't want to do with your iron skillet. You don't want to use soap. You want to keep it nice and dressed.
They call that seasoned.
Seasoned. There you go. So this is about a 1.5, maybe 2 pound dough ball.
Okay.
I've let rise a little bit, and all we're gonna do is just gonna knead it. So you guys wanna?
I do.
Oh, you want to get our
Yeah, why
fingers
don't you
in
just
there?
get
Now,
it in
why
it.
is this
Are we
important?
trying to get it to the edge?
Yeah, we're trying
Okay.
to do the important thing is to get it to the edge and to try to keep it even the whole way.
Oh.
And you could turn the pan a little bit too if you wanted to.
Is that a hint?
No,
That's
you're
the
doing
color,
great.
but
You're
we
doing
have 4
great.
hands here, right?
You're doing great. So you would do that. You would do that, and you put a couple fork marks in there to keep it from rising, and then you would put a little olive oil on that and cook it halfway.
Okay, well, so why do you have to use this kind of pan for grandma's pizza?
It's just because this pan, the iron pan, will give you a nice crispy crust bottom. So this is basically a Sicilian pizza, only it's halfway risen. So using half the dough as a Sicilian.
It's popping back. Look at
Yeah,
that.
it comes back. So you keep stretching. It takes you about an hour to stretch it, and then go back to do it again.
So you don't actually throw this one up and toss
You
it.
can. I mean, if you want to, make it a little fun for the kids. Yeah. So you just make a little crust like that, and then you would let this rise about an hour or so under cover. Then put a couple fork marks in it to keep it from bubbling up.
Okay,
And you would bake this at 350 about halfway for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you would get this.
Wow.
Okay,
Take
I'll
that one
move
away.
this one for you.
Yeah. So basically, this is a halfway cooked. It's still kind of raw on the bottom. You want it halfway cooked.
Okay.
And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our mozzarella cheese, and we're just gonna lay it down like cards.
See, now I would have thought the sauce went first.
Yeah.
So normally, on a regular pizza it does,
Okay.
but on the grandma pizza you want to do it reverse. The sauce, what this does is the cheese, when it melts, it keeps the sauce from penetrating the dough, which is kind of like a layer. It keeps it from getting soggy.
Okay,
you know?
that makes sense,
Yeah,
actually.
so the sauce will melt on top of the cheese instead of inside of the dough. So basically, like I said, this is the fresh mozzarella that we cut ourselves. You just want to cover it. This melts really even and pretty heavy, so you want to just make sure you just cover it a little like that.
Did your grandma make this for you?
She did my nonna. So
My nonna.
Yeah, so in Italian,
Love
grandma's nonna.
that.
So then what we'll do is we're going to throw a little bit of Romano, Picano Romano cheeses. Pico Romano cheese is the most important thing. This gives you the really good flavor.
Now, freshly
Pico-
grated.
Pecorino, yeah.
Yeah, pecorino.
And then we're going to do a little bit of the sauce. So the sauce, we're just going to.
So the sauce is not really the star of
The
this
sauce
pizza.
is not the star. It's the dough and the cheese, right? Mm-hmm. And definitely want enough sauce, but not too much.
What's the secret to a good dough?
A good dough is the flour. You want to use a unbleached, high gluten flour. High gluten, which everybody hears the word now, gluten. They
Right, yeah.
They run away from
Yeah.
it. Gluten creates elasticity in the dough. Also lets it rise and go back and forth without breaking.
Okay.
Interesting. I like the little pattern you're doing there.
Oh, yeah, it's just I mean, you can do any pattern you want.
Okay.
That's just the one I always go to.
Yeah.
And then I put a little bit more cheese on top.
Oh, more cheese.
Cheese is
Never
the
enough
star. And a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Then we would just throw this in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay. All right.
we'll
Well,
see
I
how-
tell you what. Let's throw this in the oven. Take a little break, and when we come back, we'll finish up this grandma's pizza.
Grandma pizza.
Yeah. Stick around. DelmarvaLife. We'll be right back. Oh yeah, it's in there. It's in there. But the secret isn't in the sauce today. It's all about the cheese and the dough. And the dough is the star of the show for Mamma Mia Monday. We're in the DelmarvaLife kitchen with a pizza pie, which is inside that oven right there.
We're gonna do that right now.
Can't wait any longer. Gonna take it out.
see.
This is Grandma's pizza.
This is the grandma pie.
Grandma pie.
There we go.
Pizza pie.
Pie.
And as you can see, the cheese and the sauce kind of married and melted into each other.
Yeah, a nice little design there.
So this is like a thin crust Sicilian pizza. You can hear the crisp when I cut it there. So what I want to do is put a little bit of fresh basil on top, like Grandma used to do. No. Now the kids nowadays, when you look at this online in Brooklyn, is what is really popular. They got a little vodka sauce.
I've been wondering what that was over there.
They put a little vodka sauce and then a little bit of pesto. You know, it's the hipster pie. There you go. So that's what they do nowadays.
Yep. Now, do you like the crust
I
side?
like. So they say you want the middle or the corners, right?
Middle or corner?
I like the middle.
I do too.
I feel like I'm always the opposite. I
Yeah,
like
that's
the
okay.
corners.
Do you like the corners?
Yeah.
All right.
I love a good crust.
So when you cut the pie, you want to twist it. This way you can actually cut it.
Oh, okay.
When you get
See,
to the end.
if I were doing that, there'd be some fingers missing.
I think we need some plates, maybe possibly a plate.
A plate? Okay.
There we go. I want you
Well,
guys-
Kelly, you
I'm gonna-
definitely need to take a corner.
I'm going to take a corner. This looks like the perfect corner.
Did I
Whoop,
cut it? Let me see.
I got it. Okay, cut a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, and then I'll go in for, I'm going to take this one because I want some pesto.
You want some pesto?
No, with this one right here. Yeah. All right,
Switch
I'm
each
going
other.
to switch places with you. So tell us about what's happening this week at
So
Joe's
this week
Roma.
we were closed for Friday and Saturday for the holiday. Everybody enjoyed that. So this week we're going back in and we're going to have some new fresh specials. We'll have this for an appetizer in a smaller version of it, obviously. We'll have these pies and then we'll have some fresh produce and fresh local seafood for our specials on Wednesday when we reopen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, the crust is perfect.
Yeah.
It's really light. It's not
light.
a heavy
So
crust.
it's a light pizza because it's airy,
Surprising.
because you let it rise for another hour, like I showed you earlier. But it's still thick. So
Yeah.
it's light, but it's still a little bit dense to it, I believe.
And
I
that
like
Your
it.
sauce is incredible.
I appreciate
It's just so fresh. It's so
It's the
good.
cheese really that makes everything
Is it?
on this pizza, just because you separate that barrier between the dough and the sauce with the cheese, which keeps it from soggy.
Is it hard to figure out how much sauce to make for any particular day?
So I always say the ratio is half and half.
Okay.
So as far as, are you talking about for the full day?
Yeah.
So I make about the same size, 2 pots of sauce a day. When I say pots, I'm talking about 2 pots.
Yeah.
It usually gets us through a day plus a little bit left to start over tomorrow for the heart to start over. So I usually pass my sauce over to the next day.
Okay.
So
That next day sauce is probably better, isn't it?
it's a little bit better. So yeah,
Has a little time to marry.
to a minute, yeah, sure does.
Well, this is excellent. I highly recommend it. You have yet to make anything that isn't excellent.
This past weekend, on a smaller version of this, you could do these on the grill,
Oh,
on the regular grill.
interesting.
I'll have to submit the picture of that. There, yeah.
Okay, yes, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank
So
you
good.
so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.